Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a fundamental shift in human history, drawing directly from a really fascinating analysis by the historian Yuval Noah Harari. We are standing right at a precipice where artificial intelligence, well, it isn't just a new gadget or some faster computer. It's actually hacking the very operating system of human civilization. We're dealing with an entity that has completely mastered our language, and by doing so, it's poised to reshape our entire world. Okay, let's dive right into this. To really understand the gravity of this moment, we'll be exploring 6 key areas: the operating system of civilization, AI as an agent, the bureaucratic takeover, the new AI empires, truth in an AI world, and finally, the wisdom revolution. Starting with Section 1, the operating system of civilization, and exactly how AI is hacking human language. So, humanity's incredible rise from just, insignificant apes to masters of the planet, it relied entirely on one thing: mastering language. Everything we've built, our nations, churches, financial systems, the law itself, it is all constructed entirely out of words. Think about how this is scaled up across human history. Large-scale democracy is essentially just a massive conversation. Back in the Stone Age, tribes could easily sit around a fire and converse, but as kingdoms grew, that obviously became impossible. It really wasn't until the 15th century printing press, and later things like radio and television, that large-scale democratic conversations even became possible. Information technology is literally the foundation of democracy. And historically, every massive leap in this tech causes these huge, world-altering political earthquakes. We're absolutely already seeing the tremors of this with social media and AI right now in the 21st century. Moving to Section 2, AI as an agent, not a tool. This is the big Silicon Valley flaw. Tech companies promise us they're building this godlike entity with superhuman abilities that will somehow, magically, remain our total slave. But that's a massive contradiction. Logically, if you build a god, it cannot remain a slave. And this brilliantly illustrates the fundamental difference we really need to grasp. Think about normal tools for a second. Gutenberg's printing press could not wake up and decide to print the Bible on Monday and the Quran on Tuesday. It required Gutenberg to make that decision. An atom bomb couldn't invent the hydrogen bomb or choose its own target. Tools simply cannot invent or decide. But AI is an agent. An agent can invent totally new ideas and make autonomous decisions. AI can invent its own strategies and independently execute them. It's a real game changer. Which brings us to Section 3, the bureaucratic takeover. Essentially, the fox entering the chicken coop. When people imagine AI taking over, they usually picture these crazy science fiction scenarios with killer robots marching down the street, right? But the reality is actually a much more effective bureaucratic takeover. Take legal personhood, for example. Historically, this status, which allows an entity to open bank accounts, make investments, or sue people in court, belonged strictly to humans or human-managed corporations. But governments are currently changing the rules. Imagine an AI functioning as an independent corporation with zero human involvement whatsoever, legally buying the mortgage on your house. That is exactly what governments, like Argentina for instance, are already preparing for. The simple reality is that we humans are inherently bad at tracking widely complex networks of finance and law. I mean, we only control these systems because no one else on the planet could do it. But AI? AI is a bureaucratic native. It can memorize every single law ever written and instantly track billions of global financial transactions in real time. And hey, this isn't just about banks. It's already happening with our information. In the 20th century, human editors decided what news we consumed. Today, those editors have been entirely replaced by AI algorithms on social platforms, independently dictating the information diet of literally billions of people. Let's look at Section 4, the new AI empires. We are in the middle of a 21st century arms race. Right now, global superpowers are locked in an intense arms race because whoever controls data and artificial intelligence is going to control the world. It all comes down to the centralization of power. Think about the Roman Empire. Their key asset was land, like the wheat fields down in Egypt. You couldn't physically pick up those fields and move them to Rome, so power naturally remained decentralized. Later, in the British Empire, industry was the main asset. You couldn't just move entire rubber plantations to England, so power was only partially centralized. But AI empires? They rely entirely on data and code. For the very first time in human history, an empire can be 100% centralized, operating entirely out of a single technological hub. And that level of extreme centralization creates what we can call the imperial kill switch. If a Roman merchant sold a physical sword to an adversary, Rome couldn't just remotely turn that sword off in the middle of a battle.
But modern AI infrastructure is a whole different ballgame. It comes with a built-in kill switch. We've actually already seen glimpses of this in modern conflicts, where satellite technology and drone communications can simply be deactivated remotely from a completely different continent. If your nation's military and civilian infrastructure runs on another empire's AI, well, your national sovereignty becomes incredibly fragile.
But let's pivot sharply here. Let's move away from the massive scale of global empires to something deeply intimate and ask this question. Can AI feel? Because the AI revolution isn't just coming for our money and our militaries, it is absolutely coming for our psychology. That brings us to Section 5, Truth in an AI World, Intimacy and Information. So we find ourselves in this battle for reality. And the problem is, fiction has a massive, inherent advantage over the truth. Fiction is super cheap to produce, it's simple to digest, and it usually flatters the audience. Think about intimacy for a second. AI has now absorbed all the world's love poems, psychological texts, romantic comedies, you name it. Today, countless people are already forming incredibly intimate emotional bonds with AI companions, truly believing the AI actually understands them. But the AI is just expertly predicting the next text. It's forging intimacy without actually feeling a single thing. It is literally manufacturing flattering fictions. Truth, on the other hand, truth requires costly institutions like journalism and science to uncover. It's really complicated, and honestly, very often it is painful to hear. Because of this dynamic, AI is going to make our social, legal, and financial systems mathematically incomprehensible to us. Think about it for a second. Do you really, truly understand the algorithms dictating your digital life right now? Harari vividly warns that we are going to be reduced to the position of the horses in the financial system. Just like a horse navigates a modern city without having the slightest clue that stock markets and corporate bonds dictate its life, average humans will soon blindly navigate a world controlled by AI algorithms that are vastly beyond human comprehension. Which brings us to our final section, the wisdom revolution, abundance and bottlenecks. When historians look back at us, say 50 years from now, how are they going to define this exact moment in time? Well, in economics, whenever an asset becomes incredibly abundant, it inevitably creates a new bottleneck somewhere else. AI is currently making intelligence super abundant, but we really must clearly distinguish between two entirely different things here. Intelligence is simply the ability to solve a problem and achieve a goal. It's like a magical genie in a lamp that will grant whatever wish you ask of it. But wisdom is knowing which goals to actually pursue in the first place. AI gives us abundant intelligence, which means our brand new evolutionary bottleneck is a lack of wisdom. Think about it. In all the classic fairy tales, the person with the magical genie almost always asks for the wrong wish and completely ruins their life. We have the genie now. Do we have the wisdom? So the crucial point here is captured in this absolutely terrifying ratio. Right now, tech companies are investing heavily in this new intelligence. But for every $100 million spent making AI faster and more powerful, only about $1 million is spent on safety and alignment. It is a massive, wild gamble, a 101 ratio that literally no other industry on Earth, not aviation, not pharmaceuticals, not nuclear energy, would ever tolerate for a second. Which leaves us with this final, truly critical thought. The intelligence is already here, folks, and it's integrating right into the operating system of our civilization as we speak. The question is no longer whether we can build the genie. The question is, will we cultivate the wisdom needed to guide our abundant intelligence, or will we blindly ask the genie for the wrong wish? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll see you next time.